Have you been wanting to hear me talk about Satanists? That's coming up right after this. Hi everybody, welcome to my channel. I'm Mel from Mel's Divination. I'm the owner, the operator, and the creator here. On Wednesdays, we talk about witchcraft, spiritual, energy, tarot, astrology, and anything that falls under that umbrella. If you like that kind of content, I highly suggest that you subscribe to the channel. On Fridays, we do Flip Through Fridays with oracle decks, Lenormand decks, tarot decks, and anything that I have that I feel you would be interested in. Please like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell to help the channel. It is free for you, or anything that you would be interested in sharing with others. With that, we're going to get into today's topic. Now, I need to do a little disclaimer before we really talk about this. I saw something that bothered me. This is going to be a little controversial. This is going to be a little upsetting for some people, and I need to speak about it. I need to share it. I need to inform, because although I don't know everything, I know a little bit more than what was put out, and it was not okay. So we need to have a discussion here. If you do not want to know about Satanism, then I encourage you to click out of this video. It's not going to be love and light today. Satanism is a practice, is a religion that I was seriously considering joining when I found out what it was. It is not what people think it is. Although the name is Satan, it is not about worshiping the devil. It is not. And that needs to be clear, because many people assume that. That's a pretty big assumption. It's a pretty wide assumption because of the term Satanism, and that the word Satan is in that. But that is not about the devil. People who follow Satanism, who know about Satanism, who are Satanists, know that the term Satan is something that was given to the devil by Christians, by people that follow the Judeo-Christian type of faiths, the Abrahamic faiths. This is not about the devil specifically, but it needs to be addressed, because I was watching, and I am not going to say who, because it's just not, I'm not here to call people out, but I was concerned. I'm not here to trash talk people. However, I was watching something that somebody on YouTube has many followers. I'm talking hundreds of thousands of followers on YouTube. And they were talking about how the statue of Baphomet, how the symbolism of Baphomet, and how Satanism is of the devil. And it's not. And this person is preaching to many, and it's somebody who is kind of in the witchcraft circle. So it's not a Christian. It is somebody in the witch community. So my concern was they have a huge audience, and they are misrepresenting what Satanism is. They are clearly misinformed or making presumptions, and it is giving Satanism an already bad name, a worse name, to the witchcraft community that really shouldn't be informed about that. So please, I'm asking you guys again, as I've asked you in many of my videos, when you're watching an influencer, including me, because I am not the 100% correct human being, I'm not God, I'm not universe. I don't know everything about everything, and I don't pretend to. Please do your research. Do your own research. Do not just take somebody that is talking to you from YouTube or Instagram or TikTok or Facebook or whatever as gospel. Read books, look into things, and make your own conclusions. If people just followed this one only influencer and believed what that person had to say, then they will believe that Satanism is horrible. Satanism is sending out messages of the devil. It's dark. It's the devil's work, and it's bad, and people are trying to get possession and blah, blah, and on and on and on. I'm not gonna keep going on. But I'm very frustrated because I wanted to be a Satanist, and I looked into it. And I went more towards the witchcraft community instead of the Satanist community. And it's not because I have an issue with Satanism at all. So let's talk about it. What is Satanism? Satanism is a group of people. It is a religion, really, but it became a religion because it's a group of people that are outcasts, that are rebellious, that are against religion. They are not worshiping the devil. They are not. And Baphomet, yes, is one of the symbolisms for the Satanic Temple. And I'm going to link the Satanic Temple's information down below, and please check it out. I absolutely love what they represent. They represent so many things. There was a documentary on Hulu years ago, and I'm sure I can't even remember what it was called, but it was about Satanism, and it was like through the eyes of what it's like to be in the Satanic Temple and be part of this community, and what do they really truly do. They don't do sacrifices. They don't devil worship. Most of them aren't even into witchcraft. What it is anti-religion in their own format. So it's really about, and I have been a rebel my entire life. I have been anti-religion, which is why I talked about that when I talked about the church, which is why I don't partake in Wicca. I am anti-religion. And there was a big thing, and it's been so long since I watched it that I know I'm going to misinform. So take this with a grain of salt. But in the documentary, they talk about how they're fighting in our country meaning my country, the United States, separation of church and state, and how that's important. And now there are some people that go way above and beyond on this, but things like getting the 10 Commandments, which is a Christian thing, off of public property. There was a big statue of the 10 Commandments on like a courthouse or on a city hall or something property, and they were trying to get that off of public property because Christian religion is not the only religion. There's many other religions in our country, and they should be represented as well if it's on public property that is for the public. And I completely agree with that. So then they fought about it and wanted the Baphomet statue put there. Baphomet, again, is not, and I'll put a picture of Baphomet in here somewhere so you know what I'm talking about. Baphomet kind of is like the horned god, and he looks a little devilish, so I understand, and there is a history to that. But I highly encourage you to check out what Satanism actually is. The Hearth Witch does a really great video on it. I'm going to look that up, and I will link it either down below or up above so you can watch what she has to say about it, because I watched what she had to say, and I absolutely loved what she had to say. So she is not the person I'm referencing, and I will not tell you who this is because I'm not trying to slander or attack anybody specifically, but it is concerning because I only have several followers, and my worry is that a lot of people who are watching these kinds of videos are just like, yeah, oh my gosh, that's awful, like, you've been doing this for so long, and they take the word to heart. So just be mindful. So this message is a dual message. One, Satanism is not about worshiping the devil. It is about anti-religion and separation of church and state, and about really taking steps away from following some religion that people don't relate to. And one and two, I don't know how to count with my fingers. And two, do your own stinking research. My God. And out of all the comments that I looked in that video, I was scrolling through all of them. There must have been hundreds. All of them were like, oh my God, yes, I'm seeing these symbolisms of the devil. I'm seeing these symbolisms of demonic worship. I'm seeing these symbolisms of people trying to give possession to others, make other people possessed and they don't even know it. Oh my gosh, love and light, protection, to help people like that. Picking up where I left off, I did write down a couple of things from the Satanic website because I wanted to make sure I was properly informing you guys. They are all about compassion. They're all about advocating. They're all about standing up for things that are wrong. And one of the reasons why I was leaning towards them is because of that background in special education, where I was so frustrated with the administration. And I'm going to do a video about why I left teaching very soon. That is on the to-do list soon, but things just keep popping up. So this is from their site, okay? And so I'm quoting their website. When you first go onto their website, they say that they encourage benevolence and empathy. They reject tyrannical authority, advocate practical common sense, oppose injustice, and undertake noble pursuits. That is basically their main mission. So they go after things and people and situations that are not good for situations, that they feel are not good. Things that they have stood up to, things that they have done. They've stood up to hate groups. They've stood up to corporal punishment in schools, in public schools. They've stood up for equal representation in religious artifacts and items in public property, which is what I was talking about, how the 10 Commandments from the Christian religion was on some kind of public property, and they were trying to get the Baphomet statue on there as well. They stand up for religious exemption to restrict women's anatomy. So things like female circumcision. They stand up and expose harmful pseudoscience practice in mental health when it comes to that one I'm not fully familiar with, but I believe it has to do with misrepresenting things in the mental health world and what isn't real and what is. Anyhow, you get the point. They are basically sticking it to the man. And that is what they do. They are there to stand up and get people to think for themselves. And their number one tenet is all about nobility and fighting for people who can't fight for themselves. How is that worshiping the devil? The way that the term Satan came up is because it's taken from what the word originally meant, which is basically rebellion, standing up to tyranny, standing up to authority. That is what the term Satan actually truly means before it was perverted into the devil of the Christianity, the opposite of God. I hope that this was informative for you guys. I know it was really intense. I know it was really controversial. You can probably hear it in my voice how worked up I am about it. But I really just needed to share this with you because I do, and Satanism, I mentioned it before in a previous video that I would do a video on it, and this just kind of kicked me in the ass to do it. It really needs to be respected, and people don't respect it, and it's actually a very good cause. It's a good religion. It's a good following, and the Satanic Temple is based in Salem, Mass. And unfortunately, I didn't get to visit it this time around, but it is on my list for the next time because I really do want, I hadn't told Kimberly about it at all. So to drag her into it, she would have been like, why are we going to some place called the Satanic Temple? And she is more than capable of being non-judgmental and being cool for it. But I just didn't feel like giving her the history lesson at the time. It was supposed to be a really light visit. So that is pretty much it for now. Let me know down in the comments what you think. I will take constructive criticism more than happy. But don't ask me who sent out that video. And please don't name that person, because if you do, I'm gonna have to delete you, delete your comment. I'm not trying to attack anyone specifically, which is why I'm not saying who they are. What I am trying to do is inform. I am trying to inform. Oh, and I think I had gotten distracted because it is not trash day, and there's trash trucks all around making sorts of noise. I had started to say something about the comments in that other video, that other influencer's video, and when I was reading the comments, it was all about love and light, and nobody, only one person out of hundreds said something about the Satanism and what Satanism truly is, and actually asked and was like, why? I didn't comment because I don't want this person to think that I'm attacking them, because I'm also an influencer and I don't want to do that. But it's just not, it's not okay. It's not okay. They're clearly misinformed or didn't do any research on it, and they're sharing way too much information that is inaccurate about it. And Satanism is actually pretty cool. It's pretty cool. And I believe you can be a Satanist and a witch. I do believe you can, because in Hearth Witch's video, there was somebody that did a spell with a Satanist witch. So I believe you can do both. I have not investigated enough into it to really dedicate myself to it, but I do find it so freaking interesting. I'm fascinated by it. It's like the only religion, and it's not, I don't know if it's 100% a religion, but it's the only concept that I've been like, oh my God, that's me. That's me. I don't have to conform. It fits me. And even Wicca, I'd have to conform. So that's why I was really, really thinking of it, because I'm a rebel. I'm an advocate. I stand up for things. I'm against major, you know, the patriarchy kind of energy, which I didn't even know that's what I was doing all those years, but it turns out I was. And I felt, when I was reading and learning all about it, I felt like those were my people. So I hope that helps you guys. Let me know if it sparks some inspiration for you, because it really is quite interesting and quite cool. And I'll see you guys all in the next video. Bye.